But I suppose the first question is why? What led you to do this?
I feel that legislation needs to be changed, that these guys that I sting need to get longer prison sentences.
And so, your team, I'm assuming it is a team, how many of you are there?
I can't disclose how many team members I have, but there's enough.
And how does it work? What do you do?
So I'd put a fictitious picture of a child, a decoy, in a chat room, in a social media chat room, and we will sit and wait for someone to speak to us.
So you never egg anybody on, you just sit there and respond to what they say?
That's correct. We respond to their messages. We never entice any sexual chat whatsoever. We deter them from that.
And what's shocking is the response that you do get and the number of responses you get in a very, very short space of time.
That's correct.
What are we talking about, roughly?
We can be in a chat room for anything up to 5 to 10 minutes, and we can have up to 200 messages from people.
And you're saying you are who?
My decoys start from the age of 9 years old, and they go up to 15, and that could be girls and boys.
So for you, this must be extraordinarily downheartening, because you're sort of fishing in a very, very dirty pond, which appears to be absolutely full of willing fish.
Correct, it is. The messages we get, they're horrendous. No child should ever read any kind of messages that I have to incur and read. Indecent images, explicit videos that they send, and they push them upon us. We never ask for any videos or pictures. Sometimes we can wake up in the morning and I've got 6 indecent images and numerous videos.
And it is absolutely clear they know that they are sending those pictures to a child.
They're told within the first 3 messages that our decoy is 9 years old, 10 years old, and it is repeated through the whole of the chat how old the decoy is, that she's at school, that she's helping mummy and daddy at home.
What sort of effect does it have on you? Because this is something I'm guessing you can't just switch off from and go back to normal life during the day. I mean, this must have a profound effect on how you live your life now.
It does. It has a tremendous effect on how I live my life. I'd say 80% of my life I'm a child. I'm a decoy. I don't get no help from the police because I'm not a victim. They haven't offered me any counselling whatsoever.
Well, we talk about the police, and a lot of people will say, as good as you're trying to do, maybe perhaps you should leave it up to the police to deal with these sorts of people. What would you say to them?
What I would say to that is that the police hinder our cases as well. They've shut down my social media accounts. I've been threatened by the police that they will seize all of my technical devices. They've shut my Facebook page down. I had over 43,000 followers on Internet Interceptors. So they're hindering my cases. I'd like to see proof of any cases that I've hindered of theirs, because out of the 34 people I've caught, not one of them have been under investigation with the police.
Well, they go on to say that the police comment here is that this could jeopardise or interfere with ongoing investigations. Revealing the identity of a potential suspect could give them the opportunity to destroy evidence, could also lead to individuals taking action in an attempt to evade police. This could divert significant policing resources which we've better invested in investigating. Those undertaking this activity cannot fully assess any risk associated to victims and their families. And of course, you're a mum, but you're not an expert.
No, I'm not an expert. But I feel that if anything happens to these guys, maybe they should remind them. The CPS shouldn't let these guys out on bail to re-offend. We've got re-offenders already.
How do you go about confronting these people when you do finally get to the stage where there's going to be a meeting?
It's very hard confronting these people that we meet. We've had to endure lengthy conversations with these, and it is very hard. We take over the meet. I take a team with me, and we just produce them with the evidence that I've got, all of the paperwork, and a lot of them are quite stunned.
It does get violent, doesn't it, sometimes?
It does get very violent. I've been run over once. One of my other lady colleagues has been hurt as well. I've been punched numerous times in the face. But the police say to me that I should drop the charges on that and work more towards the charge of arranging and facilitating a meet with a child. So I'm told to drop a charge on someone attempting to run me over.
You have had quite a number of successes. There have been 34 arrests, 9 convictions, although that means that 25 weren't convicted.
That's right, they're still on police bail pending further investigation on their technical devices.
What advice would you give to parents? Because as we've discussed, you know, this is obviously something that is happening to an enormous degree. How do you protect your children? As a mum, how do you protect your children?
I speak to my children regularly and I warn them of the dangers, and a lot of parents should warn their children of the dangers and look out for signs if your children are coming withdrawn from family events, because this is what these guys do. They try and corner children so that they don't go out on family events. They've got them solely to themselves. So monitor their devices, sync them to your own phone, so if these guys do send indecent images, they will come onto your devices.
Well, thank you very much indeed. It's absolutely fascinating.